Here are the crypto top headlines covered in this video. Pro-Bitcoin traders are cautiously bullish despite BTC's 14% correction. Next, Metaverse experiences with major brands, artists, and DJs drive the Sandbox's resurgence. Also, SEC pushes back BlackRock, Fidelity, spot Ethereum ETF proposals. Welcome to Crypto Top Headlines, where there's no clickbait thumbnails or titles, and no speeches on my opinions, just bringing crypto's news to you. We are a new channel here on YouTube, and would greatly appreciate it if you would click on the like and subscribe buttons, as well as the notification bell. It does help support the channel, so thank you in advance for doing so. Now, on to these headlines. Our first top headline: Pro-Bitcoin traders are cautiously bullish despite BTC's 14% correction. Bitcoin surprised investors with a sharp sell-off today, but derivatives metrics are still neutral to bearish despite the 14% intraday correction. Bitcoin experienced a 14% price correction, dropping to $59,300 after reaching an all-time high of $69,150 on March 5th. The challenge now lies in reclaiming the $64,000 support. According to BTC derivatives data, professional traders maintain a slightly bullish stance despite today's short-term volatility. Bitcoin price crash followed a retrace on the Nasdaq 100 index. Interestingly, Bitcoin's correction coincided with a 2.6% retracement in the tech-heavy Nasdaq 100 index futures, which hit an all-time high of 18,377 on March 4th. The stock market showed early signs of stress following a consumer research firm's estimation that Apple iPhone sales in China declined by 24%. Furthermore, shares of New York Community Bank Corp., ticker symbol NYCB, continued to decline after the lender replaced its CEO, citing material weaknesses in internal controls. Investors sought refuge in gold as the precious metal gained 4.2% in 4 days, currently trading near its all-time high. The fact that Bitcoin reached a new all-time high has attracted media attention, potentially prompting whales to consider shorting, betting against the price, or encouraging holders to reduce their positions in response to the usual FUD from Bitcoin critics. For instance, the funding rate on Bitcoin perpetual contracts garnered attention when it surpassed 1% per week on February 28th. However, this metric has been indicating investors' optimism for the past couple of months, as pointed out by user @BitcoinMonger on X social network. Bitcoin pro traders weren't too excited before the all-time high. In essence, attributing the sharp Bitcoin price correction merely to the funding rate makes little sense, as the metric can stay above 1% per week for an extended period without necessarily forcing bulls to close their longs. Some traders lack access to traditional funding, while others simply do not care about the fees, given the favorable market conditions. Moreover, retail traders should not serve as a proxy for overheated markets, as cryptocurrency investors naturally exhibit a bullish trend. In contrast, professional traders tend to favor monthly future contracts to avoid variable funding rate costs. In neutral markets, these instruments trade at a premium of 5% to 10% to account for their extended settlement period. Data reveals that the BTC futures premium stood at 15% during the entire $5,765 price move on March 5th. Essentially, the metric signals that whales and market makers remain bullish despite the correction following the all-time high, suggesting little difference if $62,000 or $64,000 becomes a support. Moreover, the BTC futures premium did not overshoot above 20% even during the all-time high, indicating cautious bullish sentiment among traders. To To exclude externalities that might solely impact futures markets, one should assess the Bitcoin options metrics. The 25% delta skew is a telling indicator when arbitrage desks and market makers excessively charge for upside or downside protection. As depicted above, the 25% delta skew stands at -7%, placing it at the threshold between neutral and bullish markets. Notably, the last instance of Bitcoin option traders being overly excited was on February 19th, when the indicator reached -12%. Therefore, the options market supports the notion that professional traders remain unconvinced about Bitcoin breaking above $70,000 anytime soon. Traditionally, during times of uncertainty, investors tend to seek refuge in short-term bonds and cash positions. This rationalizes the absence of excessive optimism as Bitcoin attains an all-time high. However, this time might be different considering the spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund inflow has captured some capital from gold. This suggests a possibility that BTC's price could sustain bullish momentum irrespective of how traditional markets perform. Let me pause here for a moment. If you're getting value out of this video, please click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Our next top headline, Metaverse experiences with major brands, artists, and DJs drive the Sandbox's resurgence. Big brands like Gucci, Adidas, and Lacoste continue to explore and create virtual experiences in the Sandbox's Metaverse throughout the bear market. Significant partnerships with luxury brands and entertainment figures and a focus on developing new experiences and events helped the Sandbox endure a prolonged cryptocurrency bear market. Co-founder Sebastian Bourget and CEO Arthur Madrid spoke exclusively to Cointelegraph at NFT Paris about renewed interest in the Metaverse platform's native token, new partnerships with the likes of Gucci and Lacoste, and its long-term goals to remain the home of virtual experiences in the Web3 space. People enjoy saying the Metaverse is dead, but it's definitely not for us. For Facebook, it's not. If you listen to Tim Sweeney at Epic, he is also extremely bullish on the Metaverse. Having a Metaverse with crypto, with NFTs or non-fungible tokens, and avatars, it's still very meaningful, Madrid explains. A recent report published by cryptocurrency market intelligence firm Messari highlights a renewed interest in the Sandbox's token and the platform itself. Sand's circulating market cap increased by 89% to $1.2 billion in the fourth quarter of 2023, up from $649 million, outperforming the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies in the same quarter. Meanwhile, activities including creating and trading in-game assets and experiences, excluding Sandbox land sales, grew significantly. Daily average active non-land buyers were up 73%, non-land mints grew by 233%, while daily average non-land secondary sales and daily average non-land secondary volume were up by 173% and 78% respectively in Q4 2023. The Sandbox also secured new partnerships with luxury brands and companies like Warner Music Group and its Notorious B.I.G. Avatar collection, Japanese software developer Drcom, and Singapore media conglomerate MediaCorp. An eye on new markets. Bourget said the company has a history of building in the depths of cryptocurrency bear markets. The Sandbox was born in 2018 as Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies crashed in the wake of market highs in late 2017. We tried to ship product updates and focus on the creator first to empower them to create new content experiences. Last year, we released some major updates, including the opening of publishing on the map, and we have thousands of live and playable experiences, Bourget said. The co-founder added that the sale of in-game assets, including wearables and other non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, was not necessarily an indicator of activity or growth of the platform. It doesn't mean that people have to purchase NFTs all the time for a platform to be active. I think that is what a bear market doesn't really capture well. Bourget said the Sandbox has been engaging with creators, companies, and brands with a keen focus on Asian markets. The audience in these regions is more receptive to Bourget and Madrid's vision of Web3 and metaverses. Turkey, Thailand, Singapore, Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, and India have been a growth driver for the Sandbox, even during the bear market, and we were able to sell out all our land sales, Bourget said. The Sandbox carried out 8 primary land sales in 2023, of which the company retains earnings, and launched 17 avatar collections. Bourget said most of these sales have sold out, indicating continued interest in metaverse experiences for creators and players. Long-term plans. A period of resurgence is a positive, but Madrid believes that metaverse platforms like the Sandbox and Decentraland, which are part of Animica Brand's blockchain portfolio, are developing a fantastic ecosystem built around native tokens. We are building a solid ecosystem around Sand with thousands of games that have been built using our tools. Madrid adds that conventional Web 2 games like World of Warcraft, Fortnite, and Roblox are living proof that successful virtual worlds have longevity that can last for decades. Apart from being Web 3 and being attached to digital ownership, it gives us a lot of optimism and certainty about our success. We are also a big company. We did several equity rounds. We have solid cash flow. We are building plans up to 2035, Madrid said. The co-founder adds that their focus on working with brands, artists, musicians, and creators has significantly influenced the Sandbox's success. He contends that Web 2 giants like Roblox and Meta's metaverse experiences are substandard for the resources they command, especially when comparing the narratives presented to users. The platform has worked directly with household names like Snoop Dogg, DJs Steve Aoki, deadmau5, and Blonde-ish, as well as with skateboarding icon Tony Hawk, to co-create experiences for fans. Similarly, Madrid says the company works with companies like Adidas and its fan base, offering Sand rewards to users to collaborate to build experiences like Adidas Land. This in turn shows these companies the interest and creativity of their Web3 user base. I think what makes the Sandbox special is the narrative. We have a big narrative team and enjoy working with artists. People like Steve Aoki and Jamiroquai tell us that despite being a startup, we go much deeper in terms of emotion and experiences. The Sandbox has a total of 12 offices around the world, including 2 locations in Paris and hubs in Latin America, Hong Kong, Tokyo, and Seoul. The company employs around 350 people, with more than half of the team responsible for building the technology and tools used to create experiences in the Metaverse platform. Our next top headline, SEC pushes back BlackRock Fidelity spot Ethereum ETF proposals. The SEC has again delayed its decision on spot Ethereum ETF applications from BlackRock and Fidelity as analysts continue to tip May as the month to watch. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission has delayed its decision to approve or reject BlackRock and Fidelity's spot Ether exchange-traded funds. In separate March 4th filings, the SEC announced that its decision on applications from BlackRock for its iShares Ethereum Trust and Fidelity for its Ethereum Fund will be delayed. The SEC first delayed its decision on BlackRock's and Fidelity's Ether ETF applications in January, shortly after it approved a roster of spot Bitcoin ETFs to go live. The SEC can delay its decision up to 3 times before making a final decision. The SEC's delay hasn't come as a surprise, with market commentators and ETF analysts long speculating that the SEC will only decide to approve or deny the ETFs once the first final deadline arrives in May. In an earlier February 7th post to X, Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seifert said that May 23rd, the final deadline for Van Eck's spot ETH ETF application, is the only date that matters when it comes to Ethereum's ETFs. Meanwhile, the price of Ether has continued to be spurred by wider market enthusiasm for potential approval, posting gains of 56.7% in the last month. It was not impacted by today's SEC delayed decision. At the time of publication, ETH is changing hands for $3,754, up 13% for the week per CoinGecko data. Not everyone is confident, however, that a spot Ether ETF will be as significant as the spot Bitcoin ETFs, with BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin ETF already notching a staggering $10 billion in assets under management alone. Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchanas said that he and his colleague Seifert would have formal odds on an ETH ETF approval out soon. However, described the yet-to-be-approved funds as small potatoes compared to the Bitcoin funds. So this concludes our top headlines. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe buttons, as well as the notification bell. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you all for watching Crypto Top Headlines, bringing crypto's news to you.